this light would make me look old, not that old. Yeah, right. Okay, this is before we start. Now, yeah, I've got a couple of confessions in this video. This first one here is I've been busy writing a book, or I've started writing a book. So I'll tell you a little bit about it, and the inspiration comes from listening to prepper books or prepper fantasies, and my stereo packed up in the car. I thought, well, I'm not going to replace it, and I'm driving along. I've got like an hour and a half every day to think while I'm concentrating on the road, and I started writing a book in my own head. So I thought what I'll do is I'll lay it out, plan there, and do the storyline plots and see how we get on. I did win a script writers award when I did a media course years and years ago, and I thought, well, why don't I give it a go? Write a book, see what happens, yeah? So basically what it is a loser HGV mechanic who's lost his wife to a religious organisation who gets offered the job taking or being a support crew mechanic for a fleet or a convoy of refrigerated vaccine trailers to a certain town in the Ukraine which has suffered a pandemic through a release from a bioweapons lab. Okay, so that's actually cutting quite close to the bone. It's the trials and tribulations, basically, of a road trip, but there's a lot to it, because in the first bit we got an intelligence officer who works for a pharmaceutical company who manages to convince our hero, who's very reluctant, to actually go and do the job because he's perfect for the job. He's been there, he speaks the language, and plus he's got the skills to get these things there. At least, okay. So, of course, there's a virologist, female doctor, based on a true female that I do know, and she is there at the right time to do what needs to be done. But of course, she's a valuable asset to the UK government, who are working with the Russians to get this thing stemmed, because the virus is mutating. Okay, so you have all the ins and outs of a road trip, as well as things getting bad. It's one of 3 books, so the whole book is just the road trip there and back, or struggle to get back, as it were. And then it does develop from there, so the apocalypse worsens. But I'm not going to tell you all of it at this point in time. You can see on the board what sort of plot I've got, and there's a lot of detail to fill in. Believe it or not, there's all the details, mechanical repairs, what can go wrong, conversations between people, plus getting it down on paper. This is the hard thing. If I can get it right, and it's people are interested in reading it, then I'll get it done on Audible as well. Okay, but first things first, what I will say is that if it's of interest to folks, I will start to fill in bits on this channel for the stuff that's in the book that it needs explaining, maybe a bit better for guys and girls that don't understand HGVs whatsoever, or drivers and stuff like that, or even the Russian language. Yeah. So it's a big project for me over the winter time to keep myself busy, mentally busy. And I'm not getting any younger now, so I'd like to share some of the red pill information about relationships and female and male sexual imperatives as well, which I think is important, especially with an SHTF situation, because you'll always find love. You'll always find love if you're looking for it and want it. Yeah. So anyway, well, I'll leave it there. This is a reckless mechanic who doesn't give a fuck, loser in life, manages to redeem himself, and you'll find out how through the book. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, anyway, let's carry on with the video, shall we? I've talked enough already. Yeah, right then, guys and girls, hello, welcome back. What we'll do is just a quick romp round the garden so you can see how things are progressing. Quite nicely, actually. In fact, I've not planned this properly, because some of the plants are spreading out, which I didn't realise they would. Some of the pots are too small, and I haven't trimmed the tomatoes correctly. But it's all a learning curve this year. Next year we shall get it right. And the front garden as well, we've ripped all the grass up. And it's absolutely solid underneath. So yeah, wait for the rains and then we can turn it over. Yeah, and turn that into something. Okay. So yeah, my apologies for not being about. Reason is I've had a semi-religious experience, and I want to explain it to you. But first of all, if you happen to be a Jehovah's Witness that is watching this, I would like to apologise most sincerely from the bottom of my heart for not listening to you and rejecting your religion outright without even listening to you at all, okay? It cost me a lot, including a marriage, okay, because my ex-partner now was a Jehovah's Witness, and she tried very hard to get me to listen, and I'm an old goat. I don't like authority, I don't like people telling me what to do. However, I refuted everything, and I really am asking for humble forgiveness because I'm wrong. And I'd like to explain this. No, I haven't found God, but I have found that there are certain people who we need to not reject anymore. Now, the Jehovah's Witnesses, some of you probably already know some stories. There might be a few ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that might say something contrary to me. I do know what it's about. Unfortunately, it seems that society is slipping in such a way, and things are getting bad now, morally, and the rule of law is slipping, that people who try to tell you something or try to share something with you reading the Bible, it actually might be a good idea to listen to them for a change, okay? And what I will do, I know some of you won't like this, but I will show you something out of a Watchtower article just to give you an indication that these people might well be on our side. Okay, because they are well aware of the WEF agenda, and it is mentioned. If you know about it and you see it in their articles, then you think, right, okay, hang on a minute, you do have a point here, okay? But the real point at the end of the day, I must admit, I haven't started studying the Bible. I don't intend joining the Jehovah's Witnesses, but I will engage with them, I will talk to them, and I will be pleasant with them and actually listen to them for a change and ask questions if I need be, maybe get some Bible studies from them. I will be starting to read the Bible for personal interests, maybe just get to know Jehovah a little bit better, but the whole idea is morality and rules to live by, because okay, the book's been around a long time, and a lot of societies have been founded on Christian fundamentalism, or Christian ideals at least. The rules are there, the guidelines are there, if you can read into them properly without somebody else's interpretation of them. And if we have a collapse of society where the rule of law completely goes, we need to replace the law with something else. Now, I'm not saying to get all crazy and religious and punishing and burning people who are sinners. That's not what I'm talking about. It's guidelines for morality, and I think that's really important. You know how it's going with the certain areas of the diverse community, and how they want to coddle kids into being very confused about their genders, and I find that criminal, and a lot of people agree, and there is a fight back. But at the end of the day, unless you have a backbone, or you have a structure and an organisation behind you, i.e. religion, for instance, which has been battered a lot lately in the last 20 years, you're going to get persecuted, aren't you? Yeah. So it's just a thought. I just want to lay the thought with you first of all. If the Jehovah's Witnesses come knocking and you an ardent atheist like I was, it might actually be worth inviting them in and then making allies of them and learning about them, because while they're being rejected, they feel persecuted, they feel justified. But if they sit with an atheist and they talk to an atheist and they listen to your beliefs, if you're an atheist, and you listen to their beliefs, you can walk away after you've had a cup of tea and say, right, okay, well, these people might be reliable in it's a fan situation. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Some religious groups might not be like that. They exclude any non-believers, but there are the people that know that it's important to have a community, and a community knit and friends and allies. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So it's an option, that's what I'm saying. And it doesn't hurt to get a bit of religious knowledge, especially with the Christian Bible, does it? Read the Quran as well, if you're that way inclined. For me now, I did promise myself I'd read that book before I died. Not that I'm going yet, but it's a thick book, isn't it? Yeah. Compared to all the other information, I've been eating information wholesale for years and years and years and years, and I've just burnt out from it. Because the stuff you watch on YouTube, you can overkill with stuff like that. It's even watching prepper stuff. Once you've got to a certain point, a certain skill set, you're okay. I do watch a bit of gardening, but anything else, maybe Canadian Prepper sometimes. But that's about it. That's about it. I find a lot of it's actually too stressful. Whereas finding a little bit of solace in the book that's been around a long time. Yeah, and I know could be discussions on that about it, but it's actually listening first of all, and then making your own mind up after them. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you loads of biblical quotes and stuff like that. It's just something very, very personal to me. Okay, and I'm giving you the reason why. Yeah, and this is Apocalypse Chronicles. And just have a matter of interest, Armageddon isn't what you think it is, okay? Armageddon is a fight between light and dark, and that's God's forces fight against all the governments of the world, yeah, which God will win. He said he's going to win, yeah. Tribulations, however, and great tribulations are actually the hard times we're going to go through. So we are going to go through some tribulations, or we're starting to, aren't we? The shit is really starting to grind up now, isn't it? So brace your butt cheeks and expect the best and prepare for the worst, yeah? That's all I can say. And if you know where I can get a free Bible, let me know. Alright guys, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Yeah, if you knew what I went through, my head, I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep for 3 days. It was like a vision quest, as it were, and so much stuff bubbled up in my head. And this is through emotional trauma anyway. I've actually seen the light on a lot of things, which I don't want to discuss here. It's all personal, but sometimes you wonder if there is an all-powerful force that is kicking your ass in gear to get you to think the right way, so you can then get on a bit better in life and improve certain personal standards. Yeah, it's just a thought anyway. All right, anyway guys, I'll see you later in the next video. Yeah, take it easy.